Hello everyone, thank you for attention again in the address of Burundi Television broadcasting from Bujumbura Town. Welcome to this English edition. Let's first start with the headlines. It is under the guidance of the head of state Evariste Ndayishimiye that the Council of Ministers was held this Tuesday. 5 points were on the agenda, among which law draft ratifying an agreement on promotion and the protection of investment between Burundi and the United Arab Emirates. Another point was the law project number 10005 of May 11, 2001 on the accountants order creation in Burundi. And the Burundi facility, Evariste Ndayishimiye has officially launched a net distribution campaign. That activity took place at Kibumbu in Mwalo commune. Welcome again, I'm Mr. Hokam Kama. Now, details. Under the guidance of the head of state Evariste Ndayishimiye, the Council of Ministers was held this Tuesday. 5 points were on the agenda, among which law draft ratifying an agreement on promotion and the protection of investment between Burundi and the United Arab Emirates. Another point was a law project number 100/053 of May 11 of 2001 on accountants order creation in Burundi. Closing ceremonies of the 7th Summit of the African Union member countries and the European Union participants have shown their country's position on the current situation on the agreement signed between them 25 years ago. Prosper Bazombanza has said that Burundi is with other African countries on the 2016 Three African Development Agenda that aligns with Burundi Vision 2040 as emergent and 2060 as developed. Evariste Ndayishimiye has more.
On the second and the final day of the African Union European Union Summit, each head of state or delegation leader was given 5 minutes to present their country's position on African European Union cooperation 20 years after the signing of the agreement. The President of Kenya, William Ruto, called on the African Union to recognize that the world has changed, noting that technology once available only in Europe is now also present in Africa. For his part, the President of Angola, João Lourenço, who is also the chairperson of the African Union and presided over the final day of the summit, expressed hope in the African agenda for the development of African countries by 2063. In his speech, the Vice President of the Republic of Burundi, Prosper Bazombanza, stated that the President of the Republic, Evariste Ndayishimiye, is closely monitoring relations between the African Union and the European Union. He also said that Burundi joins other countries in supporting the African Development Agenda for 2063, emphasizing that this agenda aligns with Burundi's vision of becoming an emerging country by 2040 and a developed nations by 2060. Prosper Bazombanza also called for the lifting of sanctions sometimes imposed by the European Union on African governments. According to him, such sanctions harm the population, especially young people, women and entrepreneurs, by closing banks, blocking projects, discouraging investors, and sometimes leading to despair that pushes some to risk their lives in the sea. It should be noted that African Union European Union Summit was held in Rwanda, the capital city of Angola.
Sport plays a key role in a country's development as well as health protection. Statement of Evariste Ndayishimiye, Burundi First Lady, this Tuesday while starting a Sororezo Sport Club. She sees that opportunity to call on Burundians to make sport a priority. It is with Evariste Ndayishimiye.
Here we are in the mountains overlooking the city of Bujumbura, specifically in the localities of Sororezo and Nyabiyogwa within Mukaza commune. A group composed mainly of women and youth gathered this Tuesday for a fitness session led by the First Lady Evariste Ndayishimiye. Accompanied by the Grapo family in Nwali, the First Lady took the opportunity to officially launch a local sports club in Nyabiyogwa. On this occasion, she encouraged all communities across the country to embrace this initiative of collective physical exercise. Anjane Ndaishimi also highlighted the benefits of physical activity both for national development and for individual health. She noted that regular exercise helps slow down aging, burns harmful fats while preserving those beneficial to the body, and contributes to maintaining healthy and energetic physique. She further called on parents to set a good example for their children by taking part in physical exercise. It's worth noting that as part of this initiative, staff from the Office of the First Lady and the members of Ufame in Nwali have committed to participating in regular fitness sessions every Tuesday and Friday afternoon.
Still with Burundi First Lady, this Tuesday she has officially launched a net distribution campaign. That activity took place at Kibumbu in Mwalo commune. The details will be available in our next edition. In Mukaza, Nahangwa, and the Mugere communes in Bujumbura province, where our colleagues made a tour, they have noticed that the nets are being well distributed, despite the fact that there has been a delay in some localities due to technical problems. Gordia Gatogato has more.
In Kamenge zone, specifically in Mukozi Kota of Nahangwa commune, we have seen that the mosquito net distribution operation was running smoothly. Activities began at 8 a.m. According to the site supervisor, no issues had been reported. Still within Kamenge zone at Mirango Fundamental School, the operation was also progressing without any difficulties. Beneficiaries were required to present the withdrawal voucher that had been given to them during registration by the officials in charge of the activity. This voucher also indicated the number of mosquito nets assigned to each household based on the number of people it contains. Each mosquito net distributed had to be recorded using a digital device. However, some distribution sites experienced delays in starting. In Mugere commune, Musaga zone at the Kinanira school site, the distribution had not yet begun when we arrived at 10:40 minutes. The staff explained that the delay was due to technical problems with the devices being used. At Le Cheribin school site, distribution only began at 11:15 minutes, with the supervisors citing similar technical issues that were eventually resolved, allowing the distribution of mosquito nets to proceed for those already present. Another challenge encountered was that some devices failed to scan the withdrawal vouchers presented by beneficiaries. In such cases, the individuals concerned were asked to return later to check whether the issue had been resolved so that they could receive their mosquito nets. At Monsignor Skepes Fundamental School located in Nyakabiga zone, the number of beneficiaries arriving was very low, with people coming one by one. The site officials indicated that this low turnout was likely due to the population not being aware that the mosquito net distribution campaign had begun this Wednesday. It should be noted that anyone without the withdrawal voucher issued after registration is not authorized to receive a mosquito net.
Burundi has made a big step in mental health protection. Statement of Jean de Dieu Atugimana, National Director in charge of the fight against non-transmissible diseases, this Tuesday during a meeting at Bujumbura, added that those kind of people should firstly treated in their families before being transferred at hospital. Fabian Nizige has more.
In this meeting related to social awareness and training on the minimum set of mental health services and psychological support, Leopoldo Ndikuliyo, the speaker of the day, explained that people with mental health problems are a human being like everyone else, and that they must be taken care of from the community by first identifying the causes of the illness before they are referred to the hospitals. For his part, Jean Dodier Atungimana, Director of National Program in charge of preventing non-communicable disease within the Public Health Department, indicated that since the arrival of Congolese refugees in Burundi, the number of people with mental health problems has increased, prompting the Ministry of Health to take urgent measures to support anyone experiencing trauma. He called on the ministry's partners to commit to this action because this disease, even if it's not entirely contagious, can affect anyone regardless of their status. The UNHCR delegate in Burundi indicated that his organization collaborates well with Burundi and that he hopes that people suffering from trauma will receive the same care as everyone else. The aim of building a united and supportive society, this meeting, which has been bringing together representatives of international institutions and the Ministry of Public Health since Tuesday, will last 4 days.
This Tuesday, the Mukaza administrator, Aline Bigirimana, has organized a meeting with the population of Buyenzi Kota to talk about the problems. Among the main problems raised are hygiene, road rehabilitation, as well as tax payment. Jivana Shimia once again.
This meeting, held on Tuesday by the communal administrator of Mukaza, Aline Bigirimana, for the residents of the Buyenzi zone, aimed to discuss the situation of the zone as well as that of the Mukaza commune. In her speech, the administrator urged citizens to obey the authorities and called on local leaders to fully commit themselves to achieving the country's vision. She also encouraged them to pay their taxes and their duties regularly in order to enable the implementation of the project for the country. Among the concerns raised by the residents were mainly hygiene, the request for road paving, the stability of water distribution by Regideso, as well as the fight against drug consumption. As part of the implementation of a presidential instruction to ensure public lighting throughout the city of Bujumbura, the administrator of Mukaza visited Avenue de la Mission, where some shop owners had already installed lights on their stores. For those who had not yet done so, the commune will carry out the installation itself and then send them the bill.
Well, it will be all for today. Thank you for attention again. Have a good time.